Alright, welcome to Vanuatu vlog. We're heading over to Vanuatu for about a week or so, but the main attraction that we're doing and what you're here for is Tanna Island. We're going to see the volcano, which is erupting live every night. Okay, we're going to hopefully see erupting lava and stuff. I won't spoil it too much. My wife doesn't know about it. She's downstairs at the moment running on the treadmill. But, you know, we're going to fly over tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's New Year's Day. Spend 2 days there, and then third day we fly down to quite a remote island, jump on a little propeller plane, fly into a little, quite a primitive village, what I've been told. Spend the day there, then head up to the mountain, bush bashing and stuff like that. I won't ruin it, like I said. I want you to watch the video that's coming and enjoy. But yeah, come along, have a crack. Tanna Island. So we landed in Vanuatu pretty much about 3 o'clock, checked into our hotel and spent the next couple of days just relaxing by the water. Views like this. This is in Port Vila, the main area. The next few days, me and Cara just, spent the day swimming and going to the gym. This is our hotel view at Ramada Resort. So yeah, we sort of just relaxed for the first 2 days, hung out, went to the gym, checked out the island, got prepared for what's coming. Tomorrow morning, we sort of fly out down to this remote island, which is quite intense. Thought we'll get some practice steps in case we have to outrun the native people on the island, because apparently they're very primitive. Jokes aside, but yeah, quick gym session. This is where we spent the morning getting brekkie, and then we headed down to Blue Lagoon quickly. Pretty nice drive, hired a car, about an hour drive out of Port Vila. Spent the day down there just swinging in the water, walking through bushes and things like that. Ended up seeing a sea snake in Port Vila. Actually in Blue Lagoon, sorry. Cara saw it when we were sitting on the rocks, but other than that it was pretty nice. Just got really, really busy.
So we just had a nice morning out at Blue Lagoon, sorry. Lots of potholes on the road though. And we've had a doozy. So, lucky it's a bit of a quiet road. So we've got Billy out here changing the tyre.
Just didn't like the old tyres I had, so I thought I'd fit some new ones.
This one looks much better.
This is going to be even easier to pop.
Yeah, we're going to...
What size is that?
So...
Is that a G up or what?
So, a note to anyone coming to Vanuatu. Lots of potholes. Be cautious while driving. Unless you want to be like us. Roads, Billy?
No.
Noted.
It's the last car we hire here. What are we doing today? Climbing a...
Volcano.
Where?
In Tanna Island.
So what's the mountain called?
I actually don't know.
Mount Yasur.
Mount
Yasur.
Yasur.
Got our stuff packed. Hiking shoes on. Yes. Put your hiking shoes on. One of the most active volcanoes in the world. You jump in. We are plane, heading to the volcano. On the back seat. Look at this. They gave us some earplugs to chuck in, so chuck those in. Apparently it's, I can actually confirm it's extremely loud without earplugs because the propeller is right outside the window. This is the smallest plane I've ever been in my lifetime. I've been to a few places in small planes, but this takes the cake. Pretty good views, but yeah, very, very small plane. Cara wasn't actually enjoying it too much because it looked like the pilot was asleep from our angle, but I think he was just on his phone playing around. Plane pretty much flight itself until landing. But yeah, it was about an hour and a half flight. Long flight actually, but over a few islands, which was pretty fun. I filmed this little part when we were landing because we expected it to be very bumpy. So I wanted to sort of film and document, the turbulence. You'll see here that we sort of get a little bit freakish because actually in the video it doesn't show it, but at the landing is actually very wobbly as we're coming into land. But actually once we landed it wasn't too bad compared to what we thought it would be. relatively, but you know, we actually went through clouds at one point, couldn't see a thing.
Don't know how anyone can actually fly a plane like that. Obviously it's all, you know, on the screen, they can see it all with numbers and stuff, but yeah, it still looked pretty sketchy. But yeah, here you can see Kara's getting pretty concerned here with the landing as we're approaching Tanna Island. Bit of turbulence there, it's sort of impacting the stability of the plane. Expecting quite a bumpy bounce on landing, and you know, it wasn't as bad as we expected. It was sort of one little bounce and then a correction, and it was pretty good. So landed in Tanna Island. You know, one of the most interesting things, and actually pretty wild, we landed here, right? And we got out of the plane and there was actually like no one there to meet us, no one to greet us, no one to tell us where to go. You know, like I said, a very primitive island. There was no real safety rules. Sort of just jump off the plane, like in a movie. Jump off a little propeller plane and just sort of walk through the airport. And when I say airport, it was just like one little building. This building here you can see in the back, that was the most advanced building we saw on the entire island. All right, just for the obviously Westerners that land here for the Volcano tour and to explore the primitive island. This building here, like I said, the most advanced building on the whole island. We walked through, followed the pilot. He was pretty relaxed pilot, you know, on his phone the whole time. Went outside and, you know, met our taxi, which was our resort lift. Flew into Tanna Island. Just checked into Whitegrass Hotel Resort. Super peaceful here. Proper island time. Then we jumped in the vehicle and we had to pretty much drive 2.5 hours south, where we landed on the northern part of the island. The volcanoes in the southern part. Very nice views along the way. We just followed the coastline pretty much all the way. If you can see there in the distance, all the locals just sort of in the water, far left there. And then beautiful scenery here. But the whole drive down along the coast is just like natives just along the coastline. You'll see these guys here are wearing some clothing. These guys are the ones that are along the coastline. They actually, you know, speak English and can actually get access to clothing, but the ones that are inland, they're all natives and they just wear tribal clothing and they're actually back to nature. They're actually how they were like a few hundred years ago, still living off the land and things like that. Very primitive.
Just went to get some food from that little place over there. We got some chicken crimpies. 5 p.m. This is our dinner.
Hello.
Hello. We're about to go up the volcano, hopefully soon. We left the hotel at
9:30 a.m.
and it's 5:30 p.m. 2-hour drive here, so 2-hour drive back, and we haven't gone up the volcano yet.
It's only 5 o'clock at the moment. Briefing's at 5:30.
But it will be good.
Once you do the drive from the resort in the very north, you get to sort of the base, I guess, the volcano. It's about 5 kilometers from the base. They do a briefing with everyone, explain to you the risks. Obviously, you got to sign your waiver. They'll tell you, obviously, if there is lava balls flying in your direction, you've got to sort of sit still and not run, sort of look up and make sure you avoid them. Because if you run, I guess, if you're running, you can't see them. As you'll see in my videos coming soon, they sort of come up really slowly and then down slowly. It almost looks like slow-mo. You know, it's, like I said, it's a third world country, very primitive, so the safety briefing is very, you know, low briefing, but it adds to the, I guess, authenticity of, you know, exploring a live volcano. It makes it feel like you're actually in an extremely remote place where you are. Dangerous as well, but, you know, very, very thrilling. They sort of advise, obviously, you got to watch the cannonballs or the lava balls that come out. If they come your way, you're better off not running, they say. If they say sort of stand still, look up and make sure you can see them coming and then sort of avoid them as they land. You can see behind me the first actual view of the volcano. Not much in forms of life forms around it because obviously the lava actually does come out quite often. Luckily this week it was sort of relatively quiet, it was relatively safe, although they don't actually know when it is erupting. Extremely large, they sort of take it day by day, but you can see the cloud there, it's actually insane. That's a massive puff of cloud coming out of that volcano. We've got to a point now where it wasn't safe to drive the cars up anymore, so we parked here, and then we had to do the rest by hiking, which was pretty fun, which I enjoyed, me and my wife. Here's Kara here, but you can see the backdrop. Like, look at the views here from the top of the volcano, or halfway up. It's just incredible. So nice, especially at this time of the day. Kara here posing like a little magical queen. Volcano erupting behind us. Got it up on the forward drives. Look at that. Full eruption. At Tanna for sunset. Active volcano.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
On
sir.
Tanna
Tanna Island, that's it. Look, it's still erupting. It's hectic. You hear that? Ready? Watch this smoke come up. When it erupts, all that smoke comes up. I'll show you the other side of the mountain. So come up there on Tanna Island, but it's quite remote. Flew in this morning, drove down here, but look at that. Look at that. Try to get closer. Sunset. Get you to the edge. Literally just saw lava popping up. Holy crap. Lava just came flying up. Alright, it's actually erupting with lava now. Might I add that if you actually fell off this edge here, you would fall straight down into the lava pit. As night came over, it actually started to illuminate, as you'll see in the coming videos. But yeah, the sound here was incredible. Like you're inside like a thunderstorm, feeling it under your feet was insane. And like seeing this spurt up just constantly every few minutes. A little bit blurry, but just woke up on Tanna Island, got my cup of tea. Last night we went and done the volcano tour. Check out where I'm having my cup of tea. It's actually a really nice island. If I knew it was going to be this nice, I would have stayed here probably for another 2 days, 2 or 3 days, just to relax by the pool here, or by the beach, sorry. It's just so peaceful here. Super peaceful. But last night's tour on the, I'll set up just there. Last night's tour on the volcano was insane. You know, flew over to this remote island in Tanna. staying at Whitehaven Beach, or Whitegrass Beach, sorry. Anyway, we flew over from Vanuatu, from Port Vila. We pretty much got here instantly, and then we took a 2.5 hour drive. I guess it would be south, 2.5 hour drive south, based on the sun, because the sun's rising in the east there. Sun always rises on the east. But yeah, 2 hour drive south, got to the village of where the volcano is, waited for an hour till about 5:30, and then we drove 4 drives up this quite intense volcano mountain, as you've seen in my past videos. But recommendations, highly recommend it. Like I said, if I came back to Vanuatu, I'd probably just come straight to Tanna, just chill out here, especially this resort here. It's just so peaceful. That's why I've come down here to the beach this morning, just to relax and soak it all in. It's so nice here. What else? The volcano was insane. It's like being inside a thunderstorm. You feel it under the ground, like under you, and then you see the lava spurting out. It's crazy. I'll probably never do that again because it's pretty risky, especially with the amount of people that have died in the recent years from doing such things. But yeah, all in all, unreal experience. My wife actually liked it. It was a surprise, but she liked it. So I was a little bit scared. Yeah, she enjoyed it, so